Hello friends and welcome. We're going to be reviewing the blue cards from set 2. Starting off with the new blue leader, Zamasu Fused. This is a very interesting leader to say the least. So he has on when attacking, draw a card, and then he has the clause that the TOP leader has, which is when you're at 3 or less life, draw a card, then flip this card over. He turns into a 25k. This is our second 25k power leader. With the activate main, once per turn, pay 1, discard a card from your hand. If your life is at 2 or less, add the top card of your deck to your life. So this is a very weird leader to evaluate. Because like on surface value, he's a 25k leader and he has a defensive ability that can keep him at a healthy life total. But what's important to consider is that this not having a guaranteed draw engine on your leader is really bad on the awakened side. Having to be at 2 or less life and having that be a requirement to have this effect is a little suspect. But I can see some spots where like you just activate it on your own terms, like swing with like a 2-drop Goten or play like a 2-drop Trunks, bring that life down to that 2 threshold, and you add one card from your deck to your life. I can actually see this being decent. Actually, a lot of people are thinking that this is gonna be pretty bad and it's like a hard card to evaluate, but this really just lets you aggressively play Self Awakeners and then buy back that life to stay at that 3 life threshold. So I actually think this blue leader is going to be pretty strong. I think it's a little sus that you have to like work for the ability to activate this to stay above 2. But it doesn't take that much work. There's a lot of Self-Awakeners in blue, and we get some pretty good tools in this set. I actually think people are undervaluing this leader quite a bit. I think in the right hands, this card is going to be pretty strong, but it is the discard 1 card from your hand clause is pretty relevant. You're gonna need some decent draw engines, but you draw a lot of cards in the blue deck, so I don't think that's gonna be as big of a problem as people might think. I think this leader's got a lot of potential. And then this is the alternate art. Pretty clean, if you ask me. I'm a pretty big fan of the artwork of this card. All right, Kibito. 2 cost, 15k power, 10 combo cost. When KO'd, look at the top 5 cards from the top of your deck, reveal 1 extra card, add it to your hand. This is fine. It's not very exciting. You don't want to be paying 2 for a cantrip like this, or a card that searches for another card. It's just 2 costs. It's not even a 20k. This card isn't very good. I don't think it's going to see a whole lot of play. It doesn't even have any relevant like typings or anything either. Like maybe if it was technically a Supreme Kai, like and you could find it with the 1-drop, the new 1-drop, maybe it'd be all right. But I think it's pretty suspect to say the least. We get a great Saiyaman, goated artwork. He's a 3 cost, 25k vanilla. He's 3 cost, 25k vanilla. Not a lot more to say about him. He's fine. All right, we have a new Goku Black. He's a 3 cost, 20k, 10 combo power. When attacking, look at the top 3 cards of your deck and play a Zamasu with the cost of 1. Place the rest in the bottom of your deck in any order. This is actually kind of nice. This gives a little bit of consistency and redundancy that the deck is really like looking for. And the problem was before you had to play like a Wasu, which you just play it once, hope to find it in the top 5, and then it kind of shoehorns you into having to play a bunch of like Zamasus and Goku Blacks that were, there's only a handful of them that were actually good. So this is quite nice. But this card seems very strong. I can see this being like a 2 or 3 of in the deck, and helping you find that redundancy is really nice. Oh, is this one? Oh, okay, here's one right here. And this one is actually pretty solid, I think. I think this is one of the this is gonna be like one of the premier Zamasus you're gonna be bottom decking. So now you don't have to play the 15k vanilla for a little bit of aggro. You just play this, which is at the top 5. You find a Goku Black, add it to your hand. Perfect. It's exactly what you need. It has a cost too, where it can't be KO'd if you have a Goku Black. This is excellent. This is exactly what Goku Black wanted. I think this is going to make Goku Black very, very strong. And I think it's already teetering on being very strong. It just needed a little bit more consistency, and this is a Zamasu that adds consistency to the deck archetype. It even has some protection. I think this card is really, really strong. The deck definitely wanted this, and this is more than what the deck could have even asked for. I think this card's gonna be stellar, to be totally honest with you. So this card being able to swing with this, look at the top 3, free play this, look at the top 5 behind Goku Black. I think this is gonna be really, really strong. I think Goku Black is gonna be I think Goku Black's cooking in this next set. I'm just gonna say it. Speaking of Goku Black, we have a new 4-cost Goku Black. 4-cost, 30k, only 5k combo power, but that's not so bad. He has 1 attacking. If you have 7 or fewer cards in your hand, choose one of your opponent's battle cards with a cost of 2 or less and place it on the bottom of its owner's deck. So this card looks innocent at face value, right? It's just bottom deck to 2 or less, but it is not innocent at all because we have this brand new Vegito card that pairs beautifully with that Goku Black. This says if you have 7 or fewer cards in your hand, reduce the cost of battle cards in your opponent's battle area by 1. So that actually means if you have one of these out, this isn't just on swing bottom deck of 2 costs. No, this is on swing bottom deck of 3 or less. And if you have more Vegetos, it's going to be 4 or less, 5 or less. And it's on every swing. It's not just on a play. So it's just going to become more and more of a problem as the game goes on if they're unable to answer your Vegetos. And as a standalone threat, it's still a 30k. It's pretty respectable. A lot of times this is going to be a 30k for only a 2 energy investment. It's going to be pretty good, I will say. I think this is going to be Goku Black's time to shine. I think we have a lot of tools to make a really powerful Goku Black list. So let's go into a Vegeta card, which I think is actually kind of cool. So it has, it's a 3-cost, 20k, with a 10 combo power. That's pretty good. It has activate main, return this to its owner's hand. Leader is Vegeta. Return, play up to 1 Gotenks with the cost of 4 or less from your hand in rest mode. So you swing with this, you return it to your hand, free play a 4-cost Gotenks, get 2 cards back into your hand. This card's pretty good. If the Gotenks didn't enter in rest mode, this card would be, I think, a little too pushed. I think it's still pretty good, but I think it's still like pretty balanced. I think it's gonna be a strong card though. I think the deck is probably gonna want it if we're still gonna play the 4-cost Gotenks at all. If you do still play the 4-cost Gotenks, I think you play some number of this, just because it's got the perfect stats. It challenges leaders, and it is a 10k combo cost, which is pretty sick. I think this is gonna be pretty good. I think the combo power of the Gotenks deck goes up quite a bit in this set. So we already went over this Zamasu, but we get another Premier Zamasu card. 2-cost, 20k, 5 combo power, permanent. This card cannot be removed from the battle area by your opponent's skills, and then when attacking, discard a card, draw a card. They just decided to give the Goku Black deck everything it wanted for Christmas and then more. This card is just fantastic. It has that same clause where it cannot be removed by opponent's skills. It's not even being, this card cannot be KO'd by effects. It cannot be bottom decked. It cannot be put into your energy. There's some new green cards that can put cards into your energy. It can't be removed from the battle area by any of its skills. So this thing is it's just staying there looking at your opponent. It can be negged, so red can kill this. But again, if you're not Beerus, you're gonna have a hard time putting -20 together most of the time. I think this card is very strong, and I think we're gonna have so many copies of just fantastic cards. We're gonna have so many copies of Zamasu in the Goku Black deck. There's like at least 12 playable Zamasus we could play now. Does it just make your deck worse by adding them? Because in the original version, you had to play like the 15k vanilla, and that card was just ass, and you never wanted to play that. But in this new set, you get to play a 1-cost that searches for Goku Black, so you get to play this, which is just, it draws a card and discards a card. Every time it attacks, it's really strong. I think Goku Black is just, it's getting so many cards. And speaking of more cards Goku Black is getting, we get a new 4-drop. that we get to cheat into play with the 6-drop Goku Black SR. This card's pretty sick. It's a 4-cost 25k. When attacking, if you have 7 or fewer cards in your hand, draw a card. And when KO'd, play this card from your drop and rest mode. Then you can't play Zamasu Fused for the rest of the turn. So it has protection in the fact that if it goes to the drop, when it gets KO'd, it replays itself. It's really nice. It's got that sticky factor. It's also just a 25k that draws you a card. It has combo value. I thought this was gonna have 0 combo value, but it has combo value, so that's pretty nice too. I think this is really good, and depending on the clause of whether or not you can tuck this with the Goku Black leader, if you can, I think this is a 4 of. I think that gives you 16 Zamasus that are playable that you can bottom deck to turn into 6-drops. Like, that's super good. Then you swing with this, draw a card, worst comes to worst, they attack it, you get it back, and then you're able to just attack, draw a card, and then you can minus it, or you can use your leader effect to put it on the bottom and then bring it back. Like, it's pretty good. You're not gonna like want to do that necessarily, but just it being a Zamasu where you have that option, excellent. I think that card is very good. And it's even got some pretty cool alternate art. I think this is pretty cold. I think this is gonna look really, really cool in person. Speaking of alternate arts, I skipped over this one. This is super clean too, man. It's gonna be a good set for Goku Black. Goku Black players rejoice. We're back, baby. All right, and then next up, we have a 5-cost Zamasu that says when KO'd, if you have 7 or fewer cards in your hand, play up to 1 Zamasu Fuse with the cost of 6 from your hand. So just to get a little bit of reference, this is the 6-cost. It can play for free. It's a 40k 6-cost, 5k combo power with critical. So 40k crit. Once per turn, auto. When your opponent plays a battle card, if your life is at 1, choose all of your opponent's battle cards and return them to their owner's hand. This is a really weird card. I'm not convinced it's good because this you only free play it if it's KO'd. So this is they're just not going to attack it. They're just not going to kill it. It's just you're not going to get this effect because they're not going to care. And it's a 0 combo. This card's bad. I think this card's bad. I think this card is pretty good, but that clause of you being at 1 life, like, it's not really gonna make that big of an impact, I don't think. It's yeah, I don't know. If this is a Goku Black, this would be kind of crazy, I think, but you'd be chilling at like 3 life most of the game with the leader. At least that's what it seems like so far, and with how I'm seeing this deck shaping out and how we're gonna end up building it, I think that well, first off, the Goku Black deck and this deck are going to be just completely different because you're not really going to be playing the Goku Black, and you're just be playing like the best blue cards and trying to be like a blue control shell. Like, this list is going to be very controlling, very mid-range, playing threat after threat after threat after threat. And I think it's going to be good. I do think this is actually pretty good. I think it's going to take a little while for people to figure out what the best cards are to play. But people are forgetting that adding a card from your deck to your life is effective card draw. So it's going to be good in a lot of cases. But there's a decent amount of double strikers with this next set. So I actually don't know if it's going to... It's just a little like playing with fire. But it's a 25k. And 25Ks are pretty good on a leader, so I think it's going to be good. Maybe that deck wants to play some copies of this. I don't think so. I don't think this card's going to get very much play, to be honest. It's cool. I like the artwork. I just don't think it's very good. It could come in clutch. Maybe you play it as like a 1 or 2 of in your Zamasu Fuse deck, and then at the late game it comes up and saves you, but I'd worry about just like a leader swing then that kills you. You know, like even if the battle cards don't, like, I don't know. It doesn't seem great. And then we have the new Supreme Kai, Shin. So 1 cost, 5k body, 5 combo power. On play, look at the top 5 from the top of your deck. Reveal up to 1 card with Potara and its special traits and add it to your hand. Place the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order. So there's a decent amount of cards with Potara in their traits. This has Potara. This has Potara. This has Potara. But... And then the Vegetos have Potara too, I believe. So it's a decent amount of stuff with Potara. Or I can see like I can see some blue decks winning this, but I don't know. I'm not like super sold. I think in a deck that plays like 4 copies of this Vegito and 4 copies of the secret rare Vegito, which I'm not seeing here on this list, by the way. But yeah, I think this Shin is gonna be it's gonna be decent if you're playing the full 4 copies of both of the Vegitos and this maybe like a Zamasu package. But I don't really see it as it being all that good. I don't think Shin is gonna be that strong. I don't think there's many cards from set 1 that have Batara in blue. Yeah, like he doesn't have Batara. Even the Supreme Kais don't have Batara. There's just not that much stuff with Patara. Just the new Vegitos and the new Zamasu's fused. I don't think they're going to be all that good, to be honest. So I'm not... Or sorry. It's not that I don't think they're going to be that good. I don't think Shin is going to be all that good. I'm pretty low on that right now. Alright, so 2 cost, 5k, Zuno, 10 combo power. It's a blocker. Look at the top 3 cards of your deck and place them at the top or bottom of your deck in any order. It's a 2 cost 5k blocker. It's okay. Like being able to set up the top of your deck can be kind of nice with like the new 3-drop Goku block, but I don't think there's gonna be any room in the deck for a clunky card like this. I don't think it's happening. I don't think it's very good. I don't really believe in it. Zeno. This card's crazy. All right, so it's a 6 cost, 20k, 10 combo power. Why does this have 10 combo power? This card's crazy. On play, choose all, not on play if you have 7 or less. It's just on play. Choose all cards in their battle areas other than this card and place them on the bottom of their decks in a random order. This card's crazy. In the Zamasu Fuse deck, this is going to be a 4 of easily. This is exactly what that deck wants. It wants to control the board. It wants to go up to 3 life every single turn they take pressure, never die with the blue's powerful combo cards. This card's crazy. Absolutely crazy. And that deck's probably going to just play like the Final Hope Slash loop because it only attacks for 45k with Final Hope Slash. And then you get to close out the game and control the board with Zeno. This card's absolutely nutty. It gets around the KO clause too. Like, I think this is going to be a problem, honestly. This card's crazy. I'm a believer. They get a 1 cost 15k Goku vanilla. Fantastic. Exactly what we wanted for Christmas. And now we get one of the weirdest cards to evaluate in this set. Son Goku, Super Saiyan 3. 4 cost, 30k, 0 combo power. Ugh. Activate main. Once per turn, discard 3 cards with Saiyan and their special traits from your hand. Switch this card to active mode and gets plus 25k power. Weird. You neg yourself 3 cards, if you even can. Switch this card to active mode and it gets plus 25k for the turn. So it swings for 30, discard 3 cards, and then it swings for 55. So it seems suspect, to say the least, but in Vegeta specifically, where you want to get down and stay below 7, maybe? I don't think so, because typically you just want to combo your cards to add pressure to your opponents while developing your board and adding pressure. This doesn't really do that. This just like negs you 3. And like you didn't really have issues going down to 7 before. I don't know. There could be spots where this is good, right? It's a dual attacker that attacks for 55. 0 combo cost though. I'm not a believer, but it'll show up in some games for sure. I think it's got some potential. And we got a new Son Goten 1-drop. So it's a 1 cost, 5k, 10 combo power. On play, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with 2 or less and add it to your opponent's hand. So paired with Vegeta, this thing can be bouncing a 3-drop or a 4-drop. But overall, I think it's kind of I think you definitely play it over the 1 cost 15k vanilla Son Goten. I definitely think you play this over that instead, and at least it does something, and it's pretty decent for just being like a piece that you don't mind just like buying back. It's a 10k too, so it's not gonna be bad in the Gotenks lists. I think you'll play at least 2. It replaces the vanilla easily. I think it's solid, that deck. What can I say? And then we have a new Trunks Future. 2 cost, 20k. Just a 2 cost vanilla. They get back with Time Machine. Pretty good. I don't know how you're putting it on the bottom of the deck, though, for a Time Machine. It's a little weird. Unless you bottom deck your own thing with some random effect. I don't know. But it's there. It is legal. We have a new Videl. 1 cost, 5k, 10 combo power. Activate main once per turn. Pay 1 if you have 7 or fewer cards in your hand. Play one skillless battle card with cost 3 or less from your hand. This card actually seems kind of good. Paying only 1 for a skillless is pretty nice. And it's 3 or less. So we do have the new Great Saiyaman. You can play a new Great Saiyaman for only 1 energy. And then there's the there's another card from set 1 that was like a 3 cost vanilla, right? Where is it? Oh yeah, there's a Goku from set 1 too. So we can play both of these for only one energy. That's pretty good, honestly. So you probably play just like the 8 2 cost vanillas, and then you could free play them. But you know, you're leaning into finding a 1 cost Videl, which is like okay. But I guess there's a world where you play just like 4 and you just run like the 4 of the 2 cost vanillas. Then you have like 8 like playable vanillas that you can play for only 1 energy from your hand. This card seems strong. I think this will find a home somewhere. It's maybe Vegeta even, because just being able to play like threats out that for cheap energy is pretty good. And it's a 10k. Like I think this card's got a lot of potential, and I really like it. And then we have a kind of a weirdo here, kind of a weirdo card. This is the new Beerus. I love this artwork. It is so cute, but it's a 3 cost, 20k, 10 combo power. When attacking, KO one of your other battle cards, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and return it to its owner's hand. So you have to neg to bounce anything, but it's on it when attacking. It's weird. It's weird. I don't know how to evaluate it. I want to say it's bad, but you have to keep in mind there are cards that you play that can't be KO'd. So, for example, okay, this is by your opponent's skills. Okay, okay, so like this card, if you have a Goku Black card, you can use Beerus, KO this. It can't be KO'd, so it doesn't go anywhere, and then you can bounce anything. And I'm not sure if there's more cards that can't be KO'd like that. So I can see that being a little bit of a combo where I think in Goku Black specifically, you can play this because you try to KO something that can't be KO'd, bounce anything in their deck. That seems pretty good. But outside of that, you have the neg. Like I guess if you play one of the 5 costs, or sorry, I guess if you're playing like a 1 cost that draws a card like Trunks Youth and you pop that, you don't feel too bad about it. But overall, I think this card's weird. It's very weird. I think Goku Black might want a couple copies of this, but besides that, I don't think it's gonna be very good. We have a new 1 cost Bulma, 5k power, 10 combo cost on play. If you have 7 or fewer in your hand, choose up to one of your Vegeta cards that gets plus 10k. So this is like the Haru and Maki for the Trunks deck, but we get it for Vegeta now. And that card was like fine. It was only like fine because you just like bounce the Leer's effect and like do it again. So you make your boy absolutely massive. Trunks doesn't really have this. Sorry, Vegeta doesn't have the same ability to do that, but there are some pretty strong Vegetas, like there's a dual attacking Vegeta, and this makes it a 30k. Dual attackers, which I think is pretty good. I don't know. It's weird to evaluate. I mean, I guess this does turn your leader to a 45k, right? Like that's pretty fucking huge. That like it has Broly. That could be good actually. And then you can actually make it 55 if you combo this. So I do think this card might see some play in Vegeta. I can see that being good. And then we have a new 1 cost 15k Vegeta. It's a vanilla. It's fine. We got a Goku and a Vegeta 1 cost 15k vanilla, which is interesting. That leads me to think that there's going to be some fusion cards coming next set because why else would they make a Goku and Vegeta like this, right? It seems like a little bit of a hint that we're gonna get some fusions later on. And there's even Vegito, so I can see there being a Gogeta card next set with these, because fusion dancing to one cost 15Ks, which is just actually gonna be like pretty strong. Them being that cheap to fusion dance them, that's gonna be pretty easy. But for now, these cards are virtually unplayable. Then we have, actually one final thought on this is you probably play this in Vegeta if you play this, because we were already playing the one cost on Goten with or without the Gotenks engine. So this is just like an easy replacement, because then you just buff it with this. It turns this into a 25K, which is obviously pretty respectable. And then we have the new 4-cost Vegeta. So he's a 30K, 0 combo power, which is why you got to do Vegeta like this. On play a Bulma with cost of 1 from your hand, which we just saw a pretty good one. Then if you have 7 or fewer cards in your hand, this leader and your leader get plus 5K for the turn. This is activate once per turn. This is pretty strong. It's not pretty strong. It's probably going to be like one of the 4 drops of choice. Probably, I don't know how many you play it being a 0 combo cost. But, you can free play this Bulma. We have that to find. And then there's the blocker Bulma, which is okay, not super playable. Let's see, what other Bulmas do we have? We have this Bulma, which is okay. Didn't really see a lot of play other than like free playing Final Hope Slash for a little while there. I do like being able to free play the Bulma that boosts your leader or just a Vegeta card, or a 4-cost 40K or 45K at that point, which is obviously pretty good. I could see it being decent, but there's only one good Bulma that you could play. But even if you don't have that Bulma, you play it, you activate it, it's a 35K, your leader becomes a 40K. That's a lot of stats. That's definitely pretty good. I think this card will definitely see play. It being a 0 cost means it's probably not going to be a 4 of, but I think it'll be somewhere in the list. You get incidental value sometimes for you playing that, which is going to be good. All right, and then we have another 4-cost 30K Vegeta with 0 combo power. I don't know why Vegeta just gets 0 combo power this set, but when attacking, if your leader is Future Trunks, look at the bottom card of your deck and play up to 1 blue battle card with a cost of 2 or less. Place the rest at the bottom of your deck. So you have a time machine on a beater now. It's pretty good. It's fine. I don't know how to evaluate this, because I don't think Time Machine was ever very good, but this having a little bit more flexibility in what it could free play off the bottom of your deck is good. And then maybe you could build Trunks in a way where you just play a lot more of just like good 2-cost battle cards you could play on the bottom of your deck. And so you could like play some like relevant stuff for free. You play the new Zamasu for free off the bottom of your deck by swinging with this. That's pretty good. I think you just lower the curve of the deck and just play a lot of aggressive, cheap threats and discard can find them. You don't have to necessarily like go all in try with like Time Machine, but I think you build your deck in a way where you have a good percentage of 2 or less battle cards. So you just get incidental value or get pretty consistent value from swinging with this. And you could also just play the 2-cost Trunks that you can, obviously put on the bottom of your deck after it attacks. But I think this card's going to see play at Trunks. I don't know if it's going to be a 4 of, because again, they made it have 0 combo cost. I couldn't tell you why, but it does. And then new 2-cost Vegito, 0 combo cost. I don't know why there's so much zeros. 20K, 1 KO'd, which people just aren't going to kill it. They aren't going to kill it. But you can kill it yourself. You can kill it yourself with Beerus, which is something to think about. There's some of these 1 KO'd effects that actually might be good if Beerus is KOing it, like the Zamasu here. Maybe that's a cute little engine you could play, but it's a 0K combo power, and this is also 0K. So you can only play so much. And then it bottom decks 2 or less battle card. Paired with Vegito, obviously, or paired with this Vegito, obviously, they could be 3 or less, 4 or less. It's okay. I don't know why it's a 0 cost. That really sets this card back like quite a bit. But it will be bottom decking stuff sometimes and be like a decent little tempo swing, but it's not even like that good. It's like a fine trade, but you have to play this in your deck, which is bad. But if you're already playing Beerus and you really like Beerus, popping this after you swing, you can put pressure on a leader or battle card, and then you could bottom deck this and KO something, or bottom deck something. That could be strong. I could see that being like a decent little wombo combo. And there's enough cards that like to be KO'd where this actually might not be too bad. I think this card might actually be secretly goated. It being a 10k is pretty nice, honestly, with all these 0Ks floating around in the set. In blue alone, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zero cost combo cards. Like that is crazy. All right, bread and butter of blue, new bread and butter, new Vegito, SR, 3 cost, 25k, 5k combo. Great stat line. Permanent, besides the 5 combo cost, but on the SR, I'll take the 5. Permanent, your turn. If you have 7 or fewer cards in your hand, reduce the cost of all battle cards in your opponent's battle area by 1. Ooh, so good. This makes blue come alive. This makes the 5 cost Vegeta be able to neg 5 or less with multiples. It makes things that seem insignificant, like Son Goten bouncing a 2 or less, makes those effects better. And then on top of that, it has an effect. Choose one of your opponent's battle cards at the cost of 1 or less, place it on the bottom of your deck. So you're playing this, you're bottom decking a 2 cost. If you have another one in play, they just scale with each other. This card's super good. It's going to see a lot of play. Easy 4 of. Can't wait to get my set and play with it. And then it has this super clean SR artwork that I think is going to look really, really nice in the flesh. And then we have a new Mai. This card is interesting to evaluate. I don't know how I feel about it. I think it is secretly good, but I wouldn't be surprised if it ends up just being bad. It says on play, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and reduce its cost by 1 for the turn. So this card pairs really well with Vegito. There's a lot of blue effects that care about the cost of battle cards. So this might be an easy 3 or 4 of, honestly, just because it pairs so well with everything. You're just never playing this on turn 1. You're comboing this with like a 1 cost Zamasu or a 2 cost Son Goten or something along those lines. Like you're gonna be playing this like as a combo card with other things. So it's like, I think it's gonna be good. I just don't know how many you'd even play, because like there's so many good cards coming out in this set that deck lists are gonna be real tight. And this is like maybe like a 2 or 3 of. If it ends up being a 4 of, like butter my biscuits, I'm in. But so far, I don't know how I feel about this. Seems low-key good. It pairs so well with what Blue's trying to do that I can see this being very strong. All right, and we got a new super combo, Supreme Kai. Fantastic. I love the Supreme Kai. It's a great artwork of him. I don't know if I'm gonna be playing this over Videl because Videl's queen, but it's fine. I like it. Okay. So 2 cost, Divine Hammer. Activate battle. If you have a Zamasu Fuse battle card, choose your leader or up to one of your battle cards, and it gets plus 30k for the battle. That is a lot of stats. So you have to play a Zamasu Fused battle card, which we saw there's a couple good ones. We've got this one, which is okay, sorry. There isn't a couple good ones. There is a single good one, but it might give you a reason to want to play this weird little engine just because this is a 70k crit with that. That's insane. That is actually insane. But again, cards that have very narrow utility and require a card to be on the field before you can use it are typically not very good because it's not consistent. You're not going to consistently get value, but it's a cute like 1 or 2 of that you could play in a deck like Zamasu Fused or Goku Black. It's just kind of a funny gotcha if you're already playing Zamasu Fused anyways. But again, you're paying two mana and you're not playing a battle card out. You're giga boosting one of your stuff. I don't know. It's definitely really cute and really funny, and it'll be hilarious when someone dies to this card. But I don't think people are gonna have the opportunity to play this card all that much, to be honest. Although that 4 cost having that stickiness and that redundancy and being able to come back, I think might make this card slightly better than unplayable. All right, and now one of the weirdest cards in the new set that I don't really know how to judge, but I think it's interesting. It's activate main or activate battle. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Reveal up to 1 card with Supreme Kai and its special traits. Add it to your hand. Place the rest at the bottom of any order. Blades of Judgment. It is a Tara, which you can find with Shin, but so notably, the new super combo for the set is a Supreme Kai that you can find with this guy. A lot of the Zamasus are Supreme Kais, which is nice. But notably, correct me if I'm wrong, but Goku Blacks are not Supreme Kais, are they? No, they are Saiyans, even though, canonically they are Supreme Kais, but they can't always be right canonically, right? I don't know. It's weird. It finds your Zamasus, and there's going to be like between 12 and like 20 playable Zamasus in this next set. So like it does find all of those. It does technically find Gawasi if you want to play Gawasu. I don't. I never want to play that card. But it does get better this next set. I will say it does get a lot better this next set, but I just feel like there's so many playable cards already that there might not be room for it. But it might be an easy 4 of too. It does not find this though. It does not find this, but I think Gawasi is probably better than this, to be honest. Although this fighting super combo is really good. We've seen that with symbol representatives of Universe 7, where being able to fight a super combo is nice for a 1 cost. Could be fine. I don't know. I'm not a huge believer, but I could maybe find it somewhere in the deck. Find a place somewhere in the deck if you want that extra little bit of consistency. Like say you play like the 4 of the 1 cost Zamasus for searchers, you end up wanting to play 1 or 2 of these, or just play the 4 full Gawasus too. So you have the 8 there, and then maybe you really, really, really want that extra consistency. You can play like 1 or 2, and I think it'll be fine. But I think we'd have enough tools where we won't need the redundancy of what this card offers. Then we have 3 cost extra card, Fusion of Evil Power. Super cool artwork. Activate main, place a Goku Black and a Zamasu battle card from your hand or battle area at the bottom of your deck. Draw 2, then play a Zamasu fuse with cost of 4 from your hand. This is low key pretty decent because there's already like pretty good. There's that new 3 cost Goku Black that's going to be coming down pretty early, anyways. And that's pretty good. Being able to bottom deck that Goku Black along with the Zamasu, it hopefully finds, or just one that's just stranded in your hand, drawing 2 and then free playing that. It's gonna be pretty nice, but it kind of needs too much to go right for this to be good. I think like maybe being like a 1 or 2 of like will be good sometimes. But overall, I can see this card just being pretty dead because you don't really want to lose your battle cards on board if you're playing the Goku Black leader. But if you happen to be playing just like Goku Black and Zamasu cards, you're not playing Goku Black, but you're playing like Zamasu Fuse, this might be like exactly what you want, just to draw cards and add threats to the board after you've already contested some battle cards. It could be okay. I don't think it's very good personally. Maybe in the right deck it is, but Goku Black decks do not really want to lose their Zamasus. You want your Zamasus to bottom deck with your leader. But I mean, maybe now we have enough Zamasus where this is actually going to be totally fine, and we're not going to care about that. But it does like go even. Like you're not actually plussing unless you attack with like your Goku Black first, and you are kind of plussing. I don't know. You had to have the Zamasu fused for this to even be good, and there's only 1 4 cost Zamasu, so it's like it's weird to evaluate. I can see it being good at some spots and it just being lackluster in others. But overall, if there was another 4 cost Zamasu fused, I think it's going to be better. But there's only 1. So it's kind of narrow. Weird to evaluate. All right. And we got a 3 cost extra, Awakening to Super Saiyan Rose. Activate main. Choose all cards with Earthling and their special traits in the battle areas and return them to their owner's hands. Then if you turn 3 or more cards, draw 2. This is weird. There's like I don't see why this is specifically Earthling. It's such a weird design. Like you can maybe in like the Trunks deck you play that because you're gonna be playing Videl and like a bunch of vanillas that happen to have the Earthling text, but Goku doesn't. Even the 3 cost doesn't. This does. I don't know. I don't think there's enough Earthlings for this to be relevant at all. I don't think this card's going to see any play. This card's really weird. And if for whatever reason there's like a meta deck that has a bunch of Earthlings in it, I still don't think this is going to be all that good because it just goes to their hand. It's like, it's not that good. All right. And then we have what I think is the best extra for blue in this set. Absolute Lightning. 3-cost extra card. Activate main. Choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and place it at the bottom of his owner's deck. Just a 3-cost removal spell, baby. Good old Magic the Gathering Murder. This card's great. Actually, it's better than Murder because it doesn't KO. It just puts it on the bottom. This card's fantastic. No complaints, no notes. This card's great. It is Patara too for another card Shin can find, which is something. It's pretty good. I'm probably going to play 3 or 4 of this in all my blue decks moving forward. This card's fantastic. It just spawn decks anything for only 3. Buy Broly, buy Sell. it answers everything. And it gets around like protection clauses too. Like it's just fantastic. Like no notes. Great card. I think it's fairly designed. Don't think you're gonna end up playing 4 unless you're a Zamasu Fuse deck. That I think you want to play 8 of this card, but this card's great. I really am a big believer. And then we have Time Ring. This is a strange card. Low key, I kind of think like a deck that kind of wants this, just thinking about it now, is Vegeta. Believe it or not, because you have that new 4-cost Vegeta card that free plays a Bulma, and you can free play the Bulma that makes your extra cards cost one blue less, so you can actually play Time Ring for free in that deck, which is kind of nice. It filters your card draw, it filters the top of your deck, and it lets you have some control over what you're going to draw, which is always a good effect. If my history of card games has taught me anything, it's that card selection is king, and it will take a great player to very, very far heights in terms of their success in the card game. But outside of being able to play this for free, it is still preordained at the end of the day. Is it preordained? No. It's Ponder. Yeah. One of the most iconic cards in Magic the Gathering. Ponder. So, yeah. Ponder is a fantastic card for those who do not know. It has been a staple in as a 4 of, in literally any format it has been legaled in. This is Ponder. We have Ponder. It's fantastic. Obviously, it's a little bit different because it's like, it's not just, you don't bottom deck with Ponder, but it's effectively the same thing. And I didn't really think about it, but this is actually good in Trunks too, because you get that incidental value of putting your battle cards on the bottom of the deck, right? So you get to turn on the new Vegeta swing. You can even turn on your Time Machine if you really wanted to do that. Yeah, this card's great. I think this is probably gonna be a 4 of in most blue decks too, just because it's Ponder. And if something is like a format staple in like very powerful Magic the Gathering formats, I'm sure it'll be a staple here. Although I'm not sure that comparison is as true as I think it is, because it's a little bit more different to evaluate in Dragon Ball. But I'm pretty high on this card, if you can't tell, and I think it's going to be good. It has some value in the Goku Black deck as well, because it helps you set up for your 3-cost Goku Black swing. Where you're able to, 1, obviously find like your combo pieces that you need. 2, it helps you set up the 1-cost Zamasu on the top of your deck that you can free play. Hello, it is Editor Cabbage here. Wanted to explain how you set up the Zamasu on the top of the deck with Time Ring. If you're trying to set up a Zamasu on top for Goku Black to find on the next turn, you have to put the 1-cost Zamasu on the very bottom, because Time Ring draws a card and then you draw a card for a turn. If you missequence it, it'll be easy to mess it up. You don't want to put it second from the top. You don't want to put it on the very top, especially if you want to play it on the same turn. You can't have it on the top because this draws a card, so you'll just draw the 1-cost Zamasu. So you have to be a little bit careful when you're setting your Zamasus for Goku Black. But yeah, that's blue. I think blue is a huge winner this set. And I think Goku Black has the tools it wants to be in the meta contention. I really think it's going to be giving red and green decks a run for their money. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, let me know what your thoughts are down below. I think blue is going to be fantastic this next set. Oh, actually, there's one more card. Oh, there's some more cards I missed. So I actually ended up missing a couple cards here. This is the new Vegito. This is the new secret rare of the set. It has it's a 5 cost, 30k, 5 combo power on play. Choose one of your opponent's battle cards with a cost of 5 or less and return it to its owner's hand. So bouncing anything is, that's solid. And if you have 7 or fewer cards in your hand, switch to card active mode. So this is just a 5 cost, 30k dual attacker that bounces something. It's pretty good. Not a lot to say about it. With Mai, you're going to draw a card too. If you have 2 Mai's, draw 2 cards. I think this card's good. I really don't have a lot of notes on this card. I think that Zamasu Fuse definitely wants this. I don't know if Goku Black is going to want this. I think it might want a couple, but that deck list is looking real tight, boys. I'm not going to lie. I don't know if we're going to have room for this, but I'm going to play as many as I can. But it's interesting to evaluate. It's a pretty fair card. It's good tempo. It pairs really well with the other Vegeta. It's just a 30k double attacker. It's like strong. Like what can I say? The card is super sweet. It's got really cool alternate artworks too. Very, very strong, and it's got that super hot God Rare too. And then one I didn't see earlier for some reason is the 3k. It's the 3 cost 20k, 10k combo power. When attacking, you have 7 or fewer cards in your hand. Choose one battle card with a cost of 2 or less and return it to its owner's hand. So it just has the Goten text. It's fine. I think you just rather play Goten because it self-awakens. And this card's fine, but you can find it with the 1 cost Shin, I guess. So maybe it's a little bit better there. I don't know. I'm not a huge believer, but I'm pretty sure that's all the blue cards. So next time, if I missed anything, I apologize. I'll go over it in a future video, but I appreciate you guys watching. Bye.